Under miscellaneous, I do have a couple things I'd like to talk about. I did contact Beulah Justin in reference to the nuisance abatement. I contacted Beulah Justin's daughter who lives in Sac City. And her mother is in an apartment in Sac City. She would like her mother to sell that piece of property so that, because she's old and can't deal with it anymore. She is not able herself to take care of it either. So the daughter is very frustrated because she can't get her mother to do anything with the property.
Is that next to Ellen?
Yeah.
No, next to Ellen?
Yes.
I've been on that, but
Is that a 60-foot lot or is it 50? Small, is it?
And I don't think this daughter is very young either. She didn't sound real young.
she lost her husband.
90.
Yeah, didn't her,
That's
like,
her
last
husband
year?
used to take care of it.
Yeah.
And he was 60 and he died of a heart attack or something, so that's
I
why
thought
they
he
don't
had
have
Lou
anybody
Gehrig's
to do
disease.
anything with it.
I thought the son-in-law had Lou Gehrig's.
Well, whatever, he no longer with us.
Right. So I told her that I would bring it to the council and I would get back to her with whatever you decided.
Taxes are paid up on until the year, aren't they?
She still gets her mail here. I mean, her utilities are on. She pays her monthly bills every month, and my concern is there is a refrigerator in front of the house, and I don't know that the doors are chain shut or anything, you know, so maybe the
They
guys...
must have just took that out.
Did they?
Years ago, yeah. Well, they took outside, I think they got something in there and went
Well,
to rotten.
maybe we should have the guys go pick it up,
Yeah.
just
I would.
because...
I'd notify her first before you did it.
Yeah, I'll call
And
her
then just
daughter.
charge her account.
Yeah, I'll call her
$25.
daughter. Just because I think that could be a safety issue with
Yeah.
kids in the neighborhood.
I'll cut some of the brushes out in front of there.
The other issue is Mr. Grody's property. I attempted to talk to him a week and a half ago, and that got me nowhere. So I talked to Chris, and Chris asked me to contact his daughter Dixie, who lives in Sioux City, which I did, and just basically I asked her for to offer assistance or advice on how we could get him to clean up the property down there. And I just, said that I attempted to talk to him, but I had no success. And I was aware that someone offered him money for the property, and they would take it and clean it up, but he won't accept that either. And I just asked her to contact me so we could discuss it. And she emailed me back and said, all I know is that the property he owns on First Street is his only means of making money. If you take that away from him, he will not eat and he will have no place to live. If he accepts a sum of the money for the property, then what? What happens after the money is gone and he has no way to earn money? $5,000 would only pay his rent for 14 months. Then what? It appears to me that everyone who wants him out of there has no concern for his well-being. It appears that all they care about is cleaning up the property. From what I know, the city has been bugging him for years. There are other places in Wall Lake that do not look so good. Are you bugging those folks as well? I would ask, who is the city? Would a paint job help? Would that be enough? Define cleanup. If he cleaned up, would that be enough? Or would the city try to get him out again in a couple of years? I know he might not be able to continue to earn money as he ages. My hope is that he can do it as long as he can. You wanted me to contact you so we could discuss this, or so you could convince me to have him sell. I am not convinced. Yes, I agree he should make it look a bit nicer, but he is just as stubborn with me as he is with others, and the more he is pushed, the more stubborn he gets. I do not think it is fair for the city to try to get him out of there without any concern for his future. If that happens, he will be out on the street as he pays for his rent with the money he makes there. I always try to tell people to look at things from the other point of view instead of just trying to get your way without any concern of others. It is not always as it appears. His Social Security is $600 a month, and his rent is $350. How many people do you know can pay utilities and buy food for $250? Most people go through that in a week. My thought to the city, if he paints the place, would you leave him alone? I responded to him and said, I'm sorry that you misunderstood the intent of my email. The city does not want to take your father's property or his means of making a living. Our goal is to see the property cleaned up. Yes, a paint job would be helpful, but there's much more that needs to be done at the house. Windows and doors need to be repaired, and there is a lot of junk and debris that needs to be taken away. My reason for contacting you was not to convince you to have your father sell, but to work with us to help your father get a plan established to take care of this piece of property. If your father cleaned up and maintained the property, I believe that the city would not bother him unless the property became in disrepair again. Yes, I am aware that there are pieces of property in Wall Lake that are also in disrepair. Letters have been sent and contacts have been made. So please understand that your father is not being singled out. Again, I would like you to contact me so we can discuss this matter further. Thank you for your attention. And then she emailed me back and said, my dad was told by someone on the city council that their intent was to confiscate the property, or whatever you call it, when you red tag the house, so my dad no longer owns it. I can work with him on cleanup, but not until after the end of August. I have a project I am currently working on that will not be completed until the end of August. He sees nothing wrong with the property, so he will not work on cleanup by himself. I have mentioned to him in the past that he needs to clean it up a bit. I could do a paint job on the fence soon, but that will also not be until September. So,
Well, it's establishing a plan.
yeah, I'm trying to work with her to move forward. I did go up to Zygmunt's property today with Bob, and that house is, the roof is done, the siding is almost complete. They're doing the trim work and stuff up there. He's got the basement wall he's got it back where it's supposed to be. It's not bowed and cracked anymore. He did put a deck on the front. He put new patio doors in the back and a new front door on. And he has ripped up some of the carpet inside that was moisture damaged and stained, and he has done a lot of cleaning in there, and it doesn't smell quite as bad as it did. So we are making improvements at that house. And I do know that he goes back to court tomorrow to ask for an extension to complete the work.